DIY Publishing presents Extortionware, A Hacker's Tale, written by Elix, narrated by Frank Egan. DIY Publishing presents Extortionware, A Hacker's Tale, written by Elix, narrated by Frank Egan. Chapter 1. The bad day gets worse. The interview did not go well. The unit manager flashed his cheesy grin as he shook Jason's hand on his way out. "We'll be in touch," he said. Jason had heard that before, quite a few times, and usually for the same reason. He was unemployed. And when you are not working, not only do you have to find a company that is hiring, you have to show the head ego that you are not a threat to his job, yet are still smart enough to work in his presence. The interview was still stuck in Jason's head as he entered the elevator. "He will eventually take my job," Jason could hear the hiring manager thinking. "There is no way we should hire him." Now what, he thought to himself as he pressed the lobby button. He had the money for rent and his car payments, but that was about it. His savings were minimal. He had played the stock market and lost big a few years ago when the market crashed, and he still hadn't recovered. Tap into my 401k? No, he thought. Something is going to have to wait. After he exited the elevator and made his way across the lobby, he suddenly realized that he hadn't even noticed if there was anyone else on the elevator. He thought about it as he walked past the security desk. "Car payment, rent, and cell phone bills are due soon," he mumbled to himself, as an older lady got into the turnstile door in front of him. He could hear her cell phone ring as he entered behind her. Suddenly, bam! His face bounced off the glass. "Ow, dumbass!" Jason blasted loudly at the woman, who had stopped in the door to answer her phone. The door moved again, and she exited. He gave her a dirty look as he walked onto the sidewalk. The woman looked back in confusion. "What's his problem?" she thought to herself. He scoffed and shook his head, getting lost in his thoughts again. Jason's last job had been great. He was a member of a talented team that could build virtually anything. The problem was not with the work. It was that the president and vice president of marketing had embezzled from the company. The news stories that followed claimed amounts as lofty as $500 million, an all-time high for stealing investment money. He and his coworkers found out on a Tuesday, a few weeks before it all went down. Jason remembered that day clearly. He'd gotten to work a few minutes late, but everyone else appeared to already be there. He could see that they were all assembled in the large glass conference room at the other end of the office. When he approached the entrance to the room, he saw Mary, the receptionist, who was in tears. He walked by her to talk to his team member, Mark, inside the doorway. Dressed in an unkempt button-down, Mark looked as if he hadn't gone home the night before. He liked to work all night when he was stuck on something. "Hey, man, what's going on?" Jason whispered in Mark's ear. "Did someone die?" Mark's reaction was not in secret. "No, would you believe that the old guy split town with Gloria?" he exclaimed. "He did what?" Jason asked in disbelief. Gloria was vice president of sales. She was an extremely pretty, big busted blonde, a rare beauty and brains combo. She had graduated from both of the only real schools in the country, as she called them, meaning Harvard and Yale. She got her master's at one of them and her bachelor's at the other, but Jason couldn't remember which was which. She looked like the average dumb blonde, but when dealing with big bankers and lawyers, she was smooth. Jason had heard that she would unbutton the top of her blouse during negotiations, fumble with the next button when things were in her favor, and play with the next one until the deal was signed. This cheap trick was not commonly used in the ultra-high finance world. It was something those in power never expected. A woman with an extremely high IQ using the dumb blonde act in business. Gloria had been dating some jerk lawyer who owned a Jaguar convertible. At least that was the last thing Jason had heard. Douglas was a businessman through and through. He was the leader of the company. He had been CEO of 5 or 6 companies in the past, and rumor had it that he had been hired to take the company public. So what could have happened? He had read in the news
Sample complete. Ready to continue?